To war, then.
Feel what I've begun. Do you accept me as your queen and ruler?
All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another post stream episode of House of Dragons. Apologize for not being around last week. I had COVID, so that was rough. But between this episode and last week, nothing fucking happens on this show, so I don't think anybody missed much. Read the books. That's all I have to say at this point.
Am I the only one enjoying this?
Yes, you are. You literally are
enjoying this.
How am I the only one enjoying this?
I don't know. Maybe you like war crimes more than the rest of us.
Count the ways.
Everybody, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, please. Everybody who's on the panel, their links are in the description too. Please go subscribe to them. They're awesome content creators. And we're going to talk a little bit about last week's episode, and then we'll go into this week's episode. I figured give everybody their thoughts on what happened on episode 6. Does anybody remember?
But to say, do I even remember what happened? Because there's a whole lot of nothing.
No,
that's my score. 0 out of 10. Nothing happened. Kaida, what about you?
Goddamn. Hold on, wait. I actually am having a hard time remembering what happened last
0 out of 10 again.
Besides the Damon stuff, I enjoyed.
Oh yeah, the Damon stuff. I remember someone had posted something, and I think you had mentioned something. Kind of, I think I might have said something on your post about it, but oh, that's right. Someone had said that the actor for Aemon couldn't act, and I was like,
yeah.
We were like, are
you stupid?
Blind?
He steals every scene he's in, literally.
Yeah,
every single scene he steals it.
Definitely.
God, I really can't remember what happened last week, and I just watched the episode. Hold on. I'm going to heavy spoilers. Give me a second.
Nothing happens.
What are you gonna spoil?
The only thing I'll say from last week's episode, where to Kaida's point, where Aemon at the table and kind of taking command, and when he put Clubfoot in his spot and kind of just clowned him, that was pretty funny.
I did like that.
I liked that scene, and that was that the same episode when they're trying to all flee and they're like, no, you're staying inside, some shit, or was that the week before? I honestly don't remember.
Last week is also where Rhaenyra sent a bunch of food via ships too, as
that's
well.
Right.
Oh yeah. Okay. And then we had Adam get claimed by a dragon, and then we had what else? I did like the interaction between Loras and Aegon. I forgot about that. I did like that when he was on the bed and he was trying to tell him how he's gonna have to live his life now because he's a cripple. I did enjoy that scene very much. I liked it. That was my favorite part of the whole episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what else happened. That was significant.
That was definitely a filler.
Oh, that's right. Allison got clowned by her son and got kicked off the council, and she got all sad.
Everything with Allison this episode was just why.
Yeah. Why was she even in this episode?
Attempt at a Dragon Sea rider burned her fucking dude alive.
Yeah, one of her head guys, right? It's like just sent him to his death. Good job, Queen.
Also killed.
I just want to announce to the world I'm no longer Team Black. I am not Team Green either. I am small folk, and that's about it. Fuck each side.
Yeah, I think I'm Team
over
Asteroid.
the drama. Asteroid, dragon size asteroid. Okay, all right. Shall we get into episode 7 since nothing fucking happened again? Sketch. I don't know how you know this episode slapped. I really want to know why you think this episode slapped.
In detail, please.
Please type.
Let me pull up the episode. Well, actually, let's give initial thoughts and then we'll get into spoiler territory. But what did you guys think of this initial episode before the season finale? Thought something was going to happen.
This episode before. Oh yeah, there's only 2 episodes left.
There's one episode left.
Oh my god!
For this being the penultimate episode, it disappointed me. I was expecting something. I feel like in Game of Thrones history, the penultimate episodes tend to be one of the better episodes in their seasons. Maybe not the best, but I think most of them in prior years have been pretty memorable. So I thought something was going to be, throughout. I thought this entire episode throughout the entire runtime was actually going to be significant. And someone had posted something on X saying this was the best episode ever, and I think I hit our group chat up and I said 45 minutes in and nothing has happened that is of major significance. And
didn't it happen like they tweeted it like yesterday or some shit, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of hype, but I mean, just not a whole lot of stuff to talk. Like things happened to a sense of like people acted as they're in their parts, but a lot of it just wasn't very significant of moving the actual plot along. So just, I expected more.
Well, I disagree. I think the plot moved like as far as it was supposed to go for this episode. You got the Damon storyline that's finally starting to wrap up with him conquering the Riverlands and taking over the Tullys. And I did like little Oscar Tully talking shit to Damon. I enjoyed that. He's like putting him in his place because Damon needs him, and he's like, and he actually sits there and he goes, okay, I'll let this little boy talk to me the way that he needs to, because he needs his army. I did like how Corlys is still not acknowledging his bastard son. He just took a dragon. He's looking at him. He's not saying anything.
Wait. Are we getting into spoilers for the episode?
Oh yeah. That was a spoiler, but I'll just give my initials. I enjoyed the episode. I did. I will say Massaria has to go. She has to get out of the show. She's 100%. Dragging it. She's dragging it down. And then I don't know what they were doing with Alicent in this episode. It was not needed. And I forgot who's the King's Guard, man. He looks familiar. I when we get to the episode, we'll look at it because he looks super familiar. Like I've seen him somewhere before. But overall, I enjoyed the episode.
All right, defend your stance, Sketch. Wait. Just time out before we get into battle. We're doing initial thoughts, spoiler free, and then we're gonna go into spoiler territory. So, what are your initial thoughts, Sketch? And welcome to the panel.
Hey. So
good to have you.
No problem. I'll keep it short. I'll keep it just short and sweet. Okay. I don't want you to derail it too hard here. One reason and one reason alone that I like this episode, the sound design.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Man. I like the sound of the dragon fire for Vermithor.
As you get into the spoilers and you get to explain it more, then it'll start. We'll talk, but that's all I need to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you take away cinematography, visual effects, audio effects, like all that kind of stuff, like what you're left with is story, character, and plot details, right?
Right. No,
but
I think that's kind of why I have maybe a different opinion than what you guys have been bringing up, because I'm not as familiar with like the books or some of like the original source material. So it was very much kind of like the same thing with Dune for me, where I hadn't really read them beforehand. So I was just kind of going to it for like the experience, like the cinematic parts of it. This is very much in the same camp as that for me. And in that regard, I thoroughly enjoyed what this episode had to offer. I think it did it far and away better than the rest of the season.
Interesting, because I'm with you on the same page. I have not read the books. I'm going to read it after the series ends. I haven't read any of it, so I find the pacing to be very slow, very boring compared to the first season. I feel the first season, really each episode, there's something happening very important to the story, where this season could be cut down to 4 episodes. It literally could be just like a TV movie, like 4 episodes, and that's it. And all this filler and extra stuff. Or if they do want to drag it out, then give us major battles in between. Like give us some excitement. We've literally only had 1 battle this entire season.
Yeah, I would agree with that pretty much on the whole. Which was the episode where we had Rhaenys fighting? Was that 5?
4.
That was 4? Yeah, like 4 could have easily been like the 2nd or 3rd episode, and this could have been like a 4th or 5th, honestly. Agreed. I'm totally in agreement on that one, but just in isolation, just by itself, I thought that it was just a very good block of television.
I agree with you, Sketch, as far as like the audio and the visual effects. I mean, both Austin and I were like comparing, and I like making and reciprocating sounds that I hear like on a voice acting level, which they nailed the sounds and like the effects, that the entirety of Vermithor and Silverwing too. Not to kind of jump ahead, but I mean, to that part in this episode, I think the audio and the visual parts were great on that aspect for sure.
So we're gonna get into spoiler territory because I think everybody just kind of wants to dive in to it. So I'll run the episode in the background, going 10 seconds. So please tell me when you guys would like me to stop to talk about a scene. But this episode will open up with Sea Smoke and Adam coming up against Rhaenyra. I forgot what the episode's called though. Let me look it up. Hold on.
I didn't see when we started. It still said episode 7.
Oh, the Red Sewing.
The Red Sewing.
The Red Sewing.
Okay. While you're getting that set up, did any of you watch the behind the sces kind of talks that they have at the end of all the episodes for this one?
I didn't get a chance to.
I usually do, but I had to.
We watched it, yeah.
They've got a great little. The director for this one has a great little quip about this opening scene in there about like his inspiration for it, comparing it to like Sergio Leone, like Western spaghettis, where like the dragons have the Colts on their hips. That was charming.
Yeah, I mean, I think this scene was well done, in terms of the standpoint of Rhaenyra kind of finally getting to the question, like asking, like, you know, who is your father? You know, and he's like, yeah, he's of no consequence. It's like, it kind of shows that he doesn't really care that his father is Lord Corlys, because, you know, Lord Corlys doesn't care about him either, you know? So
I have a question.
Yeah.
And please, I'm not a racist at all. Okay.
For sure.
He is one of 2 black men in this series that are dragon riders, and she can't put it together who his daddy is.
Yeah.
Racist.
Yeah. You know, I mean, because in the book, well,
I mean, I understand in the book, but it just I'm just looking there like, really, you can't put it together? Like,
Nadia, you need to educate yourself, okay?
There's 3 black people, okay? All right, you could figure it out.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
No,
just
I
saying,
get it.
I mean,
I thought the exact same thing.
Adam looks like him too. The actors look like they could be related.
Yeah.
More so than the other one that looks that's supposed to be the older son.
He's bald.
He doesn't to me look so much like he could be Corlys' son. But Adam to me looks like, maybe it's the dreads. I don't know, but he looks very like I could see if that. So I'm like, you really can't put
very
together
strong features like the other actor does, and kind of like a squared off jawline. Like he looks like he could be his son. I totally agree with that. Yeah, I'm struggling with this, guys. So with Game of Thrones, I said with this one I said going in, I'm not going to read the books because the books gave me false like expectations of where the original series was going, and now I'm finding myself regretting that I didn't read the books for this one. It was like, it feels like no matter what I do, I can't get it right.
You got time, Sammy, until next season.
Yeah,
that's true.
The book's probably going to be more entertaining than what we've seen, but
maybe they're stretching it out because they had to get a certain amount of seasons in.
I think so. Like Shieldwall said something about it. Like it's definitely obvious that they're dragging it out, right? And I think dragging it out to a 4th season, which we'll probably end up doing, maybe is probably too much. But I think they could have fit it into, two seasons without adding all this extra fluff, as we've already kind of said. That just has things going, next. And it's meant to be a limited series like this. It's one thing if they were going to cover the entirety of Fire and Blood, like the entire book itself. That's where, like, let's say the show started with Aegon's conquest and it went all the way through Aegon the Fourth, down that whole family lineage. But it doesn't. Like, we're starting halfway through this book, and we're drawing things out that is, like you should be done in 2 seasons, maybe 2.5 or something like that. Like, and I think that's the problem that they're facing, is trying to, analyze, George's history lesson in this book and try to make it into TV. And there are problems with it, but not to say like it's a terrible show overall.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I had way more fun in season 1.
Yeah, exactly. And then because things moved more steadily, like there's less fluff, there's more good drama that happens in season 1 than
the political play in season 1 was definitely more intense and more on the edge of the seat. And in this season, it just feels like everybody's just whining and complaining about things not taking action to anything.
So I have a question then for our panel and our audience. Do you think that is because we don't have a consistent basis of Sir Otto Hightower and we don't have Viserys anymore? So we don't have this like brilliant acting from Paddy Considine, even though we did see him in a flashback again in this episode. Like, do you think it's because we don't have them as consistent actors kind of like helping to almost like carry the show in a way? And like we've got like this lullified Daemon as well, who's like just overly haunted. Like, do you think that's because...
I'd say it's definitely a factor.
Yeah. That's what I think.
I'm surprised Otto hasn't been back yet.
I thought he was going to come back this episode, but...
So did I.
He better show up next week. I'm missing him.
I am too. I to be honest, I was kind of missing Cole this episode. It's weird for me to say that, but I almost missed Cole this episode.
And that's the last stream that Nick's going to be on. So, Nick, it's been very nice having you.
Now wait till next week when Kristen Cole comes out.
Hey, we know it's in next week's episode.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be your Halloween costume, Nick. You're going as Christian Cole.
Yeah, I'm gonna partner up with Kaida and get like a Caesar like neck chain here, like on my armor that I'm gonna build.
Still haven't found one, bro.
You haven't found one yet?
No, I've been looking, dude, and I cannot find one. I need it.
I thought that was gonna be like your big reveal for today.
No, it's something else. I'll wait till next week because he wasn't on this episode, so I'll wait till next week.
Ooh, all right, the finale.
I will say the dragons look phenomenal.
Oh, what do you think the dragons were talking about, like back and forth?
I don't know.
He's like, oh, what the fuck? What are you doing here?
I
bro?
actually think
Silverwing
is the most
Silverwing
is gorgeous.
Vermithor though was fucking badass.
Vermithor is absolutely gnarly.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like there was like moss growing on him.
And remind me again the bigger one. Aemon's Vhagar looks like a very old iguana.
That is exactly. I was trying to figure out. I was like an old.
She looks over it, just tired.
Yeah,
she's getting to that Balerian point.
Well, how old is Vhagar? Like 180 something years old or something, right?
Oh, she's gonna get hers. Don't worry. Old bitch.
You old hoary bitch.
In this opening scene, I thought it was. I really thought there was going to be some sort of conflict with it. Again, I haven't read the book, so I don't know where Adams, where he aligns himself in this war. So it just seemed, I don't know, maybe it's just body behavior, but it came off like he really didn't want to take a kneel. He really just didn't care, and I think he just did it to save his neck.
It's different than the books with this, so I guess this, for it being original, I mean. He's acting how anybody would act. I didn't ask for this shit. And then you can see he's from House Valerian. So, of course, he's going to kneel to her and, be her subject because, he is one of her subjects. So I didn't mind that pretty much.
Yeah, I think it was expected just because of the previous week's episode where he just literally gets cornered up against a rock like, you're my rider now, bitch, type of attitude, and he's just like, yeah, all right, I'm about it. All right, cool. I mean, he seemed to love it.
Yeah, I mean, the thrill of owning not owning, but the thrill of being chosen by a dragon to be its rider. That's got to be a high on some sort of level you can't even reach with drugs. Like that's got to be like
it might get to certain people's heads as we'll see. But
I have a feeling of who you're mentioning. He seems to, because I had to tell my husband, I was like, yeah, they gave this guy a family, even though in the books he's pretty much a bastard and nobody likes him. And my husband's like, really? He's a really likable guy.
Which guy? Wait.
Those are always the ones that get you.
Is it Ben?
Adam?
No, not Adam.
Hugh?
The Hugh. Hugh the Hammer? Is that the one?
Hugh Hammer?
Hugh Hammer.
Yeah.
Everybody likes Hugh Hammer right now. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool.
Vroma Thor.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm glad y'all enjoy him.
What was
We
that?
got a whole nother season.
I'm excited
I hope
for
you love
you.
him.
You're excited for Austin's excited for Hugh. Yeah,
I am
my
too.
boy, man.
I
That's
really
my boy.
am. There's gonna be, I can't wait for a certain episode to come out and see the internet's reaction. I cannot wait. I am waiting for it.
I feel the Hunt for Dragon Seed Riders could have been at least 2 episodes in the season that they could have really fleshed out a couple of these characters instead of rushing it, because it feels like they do a lot of fluff in this season where they could have utilized it to, if they wanted to expand on these characters more so than what's in the books, utilize it then during that. Write it out instead of focusing on the White Worm and her awful accent. So sketch. As you can tell, all of us except for Kaida doesn't like this episode as much as
I've gathered.
Okay.
Well, listen, I'm in agreement for the most part. I think in general this season has kind of just dragged and been mostly just fluff, whereas like the first season, every episode just kind of had like its own little like quip or like complication that it threw into there to try to just make everything a little more messy. You don't really get that with a lot of these episodes. They just kind of exist and nothing really gets pushed or changed.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
I will appreciate this one for at least revving things up more so than a lot of the other episodes have.
This is the downfall, like the down part for me for this episode is everything to do with Allison.
Why was she even in this episode?
Yeah, you could have took Allison out and the episode would have been a lot better.
That's what we were saying. Like you cut all of her parts out, and either you'll get a little bit of a shorter episode, but it is what it is. Or
this episode didn't need to be 73 minutes, and if it did, focus more on the dragon seeds, not
this is
focus more.
This is what, a 67-minute episode. I think those 7 extra minutes are all Allison's.
Yeah,
like I'm sorry, I don't care about you floating in some lake. Show me some dragons. That's all I care about.
Where are you gonna get her boobs, bro? I was like, we get
no boobs.
No boobs.
Still no boob.
I'm astounded by the lack of boobage.
Yeah, this is not George. Are you watching this show, bro?
Yeah.
I don't think he has a hand in it. There'd be boobs.
I was telling my husband where she's floating in the lake, we would have seen at least like nipple or like an outline of something.
Something, yeah.
But
hey, she's obviously wearing a bodysuit underneath to kind of layers to cover that up a little bit.
True. Listen, you've gotten plenty of dicks though.
A little too much.
Listen,
right? And that is astounding for a Game of Thrones show. Astounding. The dick to boob ratio should not be in favor of dicks. I'm sorry.
As the only woman on the panel right now, and as a straight woman, dicks are not that appealing. Okay, they're not pretty. They're not. I would rather look at boobs, to be honest.
Boobs are gorgeous. Right?
Yeah,
boobs.
They look like the little guy that shoots out of the alien's chest, okay, or the guy's chest. All right, the little like so. All right, they're not that appealing. Okay, they're not. That's why women are mostly naked in forms of artwork, and it's dicks are not. Dicks are just not. Yeah. Anyway, by the way, I hate that this episode tried to make you feel bad for her when the whole time in my head I'm like, you have been nothing but a shitty mother, a shitty friend, and a shitty wife. So like, I have no sympathy for you, my girl. I'm sorry. Drown yourself, I guess. Character Allison.
That's the whole point of her story. Is her realizing that everything that she was trying to accomplish is just going right back into her face. So,
yeah.
And can you like put it on the act like the dude who's the King's Guard? I have to hold on. Do they have the episode up yet? Like the cast?
Is it the one that was out in the woods with him?
Yeah, the King's Guard. This is
Yeah, I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
He looks so familiar. I know him from somewhere.
Where is it? That's her in the.
I need the cast. Give me the cast. It's probably not going to be on IMDb.
Where is it?
No, I don't even.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
If I can find it, I'll throw it in the private chat.
And also, this scene too, basically him saying like, "Hey, by the way, they've got another dragon rider," and Lawrence over here is like, maybe we shouldn't tell the king."
Okay, I see that as a power play.
Yeah, I did too.
Like, I think he knows, like, he's holding on to that information for himself for when the inevitable happens, just like at the end of this episode. He's like, so-and-so knew this information and didn't say anything. So he could try to throw him under a bus or something. Or he's going to try to use that information for himself for like some kind of personal gain.
I can see that.
And kind of backfired on him.
Yeah. You got to keep in mind though, he's working with Aegon too. He has a interest in Aegon because of his disability now, and him trying to get more favor with the actual king. And I did like that they sent those guys to the wall.
That's Aegon's friends, right? The ones that were drinking with him and stuff.
Yeah, there it is. Last episode, they were there with Alicent, and they're the ones that started pulling their swords out and killing civilians. So that's why the riot started. So that's why they're getting sent to the wall. Okay, I knew I remembered something from that episode.
That makes sense.
Right.
And good, because they're a terrible Kingsguard. Get them the fuck out of here.
Yeah, to stretch this show to 4 seasons makes absolutely no sense with how big the book is, and with the fact that they're doing other shows that they could just, if HBO is just looking just to fill in more Game of Thrones IP, they could literally do 2 seasons of this, and then what are they doing? A night show too as well. For a while they were doing that Jon Snow. Kingdoms. Yeah, just line it up where, okay, this ends. Next year, the new show starts, goes on for 2-3 seasons, whatever, and align it to where the next one. I think they're dumb for not starting with Aegon the Conqueror and working their way into this, like starting from the beginning and then going into it. Cooler. I think for continuity issues, they're gonna come across a lot of issues if they keep going backwards and forwards with it. So. Just my piece.
And then for the end, we're not there yet. I'll wait till we get there.
I'll get put.
But I did like this part because that is my favorite character. I like Loras.
By the way, he
calculating.
He's becoming a little bit of a bitch, just like Cole. This Jace here.
His concern was valid. I like his scene in this episode.
Yeah, I think
it's a good scene.
Yeah, you can tell like he's just getting very antsy, like and he's a teenager. Or I forget how old he is in this part of the book.
Looks like they aged him up in this show. He looks like he's like 17 or something.
I think it might be like 18 or something around there. But anyway, he definitely seems like he's acting the part, and he's just kind of like he even. Says like, did you know, like, when you slept with Sir Strong, that I would have dark hair and not, golden hair like yourself, sort of thing. Like he kind of talks back to his mother, but I think also in this scene, which I think I did like, because when Austin and I were watching it, it's like, oh, now she tries to actually like, show some sort of motherhood, and because he kind of even throws shade at Massaria, and it's like, I mean, yeah, I would too if I were Jace, because I'm like, why the hell are you listening to her and not your own son, who, like, where he says like, okay, so what happens if you die? Will you be my heir? Okay, then, so why aren't you listening to what I have to say? If I'm in, the next in line, if something happens to you, like, we should be talking, and you should be like heeding my advice, or like he should be communicating with her more often. And vice versa, but it's not happening. Instead, she's going to the White Worm for all of her advice, which, is just stupid.
I think that stems from the fact that she was never asked with Viserys. Yes, she was the cup girl, and she was there to listen in on these guys talking, but she was never asked her advice. And anytime she gave her opinion or asked anything, she was looked at sideways. Like, why are you asking and stuff? Even though she was his heir, so I don't think she knows how to, in a sense, like pass down those traditions or pass down the ability to rule to him. And I also think she's got still a little bit of PTSD from losing her other son, and she doesn't want to lose him either.
Mm-hmm.
Very protective.
But he looks like a strong. The curly hair, the like, looks just like his dad. Like right here, to me, the actors look very similar. Very well casted.
Casting wise, they do a good job.
The lighting in this scene was very well done too. I like that sometimes HBO knows how to light a scene sometimes. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. Yeah.
Not all the time.
It reminds me of playing Baldur's Gate because I go around when I get into dungeons like this and I just start lighting things, like lighting the candles and stuff so I can see.
Still haven't played Baldur's Gate.
That's so good.
Yeah, you should get into that. It's amazing.
I know. I'm still finishing up Ghost of Tsushima,
which is also amazing.
With Tim. I agree, Tim.
Yeah.
Tim, never change, buddy.
That's why our next stream, which will be the last episode, we'll talk about the episode, but everybody's going to bring their House of Dragon meme game, and we're going to share some of that with each other. And I also have one of the House of Dragon wine bottles that I'm going to pop open on this end, so to celebrate the end of it.
I have to bust out a bottle of ale.
God, I'm trying to contain like the spoilers till like we get to the end of this episode.
You can talk. No, it's fine. This spoilers for the show and book. Even if we're jumping around, you're fine.
This whole scene could have been cut
where I want to
like
jump. It's pretty
30
far.
seconds,
please.
Right? Like this whole scene could have been cut down to where like she says one thing, and then to the last sentence or last couple sentences that Rhaenyra says. Like that's what this whole scene should have been. That's it.
Like this scene is just like, I mean, what the fuck? Like it's not necessary. Like she is not necessary. Like she's bringing nothing to the show. I know she's supposed to be like supposed to be doing the communications in between here and King's Landing, but it doesn't feel like she's doing anything but standing around getting on my fucking nerves. I hate this character. No. I really do.
You're totally spot on. They could have just cut the scene and just let off with the one of her like sending the message into like King's Landing to tell everyone to come in and do their dragon trials. They didn't need this one to set that up.
That would have been better. It would have been better because it would have been like, okay, she's actually working.
I actually think I might have led off this episode with that scene of the message going into King's Landing.
Yeah.
Give everyone like more. Make it so like time wise, there's like more time for everyone to actually get on the boats and get over there while everyone sets everything else up.
Yeah, that would have been.
Sketch, what is your opinion of her as a character overall that you've seen for the entire series?
The White Worm one?
Yes.
Be honest.
Inconsequential to me, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't care much for her. She's just kind of there. I don't know what I'm supposed to think of her.
Okay. I think it's kind of like, we've all said it before, and she had more significance in the book, and the places that she appears in the book are far better than anything she's been in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's so random and it pops in at the most random scenes, and it's just like, what are you doing here, woman? Please.
She
from everything that you guys say. Oh, sorry, Sketch.
Was that Sketch?
I'm just saying she gets an awfully large amount of screen time, and I'm not sure what the reason is. Like maybe like you said, maybe there's a book reason I'm not privy to, but I'm not seeing it.
She's in the book, but like her status in the book, it's sparingly, you know what I mean? Like she's in there, but she's not in there. And then again, like this part in the book is not a lot, so they are trying to stretch it because like there's not a lot known about what was going on with Daemon, and the White Worm doesn't really do a lot, but she does do some things. But it's just her character so far has just been, like you said, inconsequential. She's just been here just to be here.
Yeah, she feels
and
like
I want her gone.
That gets too much screen time.
Yeah.
Way too much.
In the scene, she's trying to convince Rhaenyra that instead of going for houses that might have Targaryen blood, why don't we look at the bastards that are born of Targaryen princes that go to these whorehouses and, create these bastards that might be a thicker line of blood for a dragon rider, which I think is very interesting towards the end when they do this, because I feel like she's doing two things at one time. One, finding dragon riders for her 2 dragons, but also getting rid of the competition who can't go up against her for any of the to rule in line.
Yeah, and I feel like this kind of take or this approach is, I mean, obviously George wrote them both, but one of the things that definitely reminded me of it was when Ned Stark is going around and finds, Robert Baratheon's bastard, who's a blacksmith that comes into play later on, so, but there again, Ned Stark's not trying to find dragon riders, to win a war. So it just, there's differences, but like, it kind of seems like the approach is still the same. And obviously George wrote them, so it's coming from the same, originator. But it's just something that's just off about her, subjecting that to the queen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Hi, Kayla. Welcome.
Hi, I'm here. Sorry, I'm late.
Hi.
You're fine.
Computer update.
Did you like this episode? Hate this
Am I
episode?
lagging?
No.
I'm not sure how I feel yet. I think, like, for me, it's like in the 7 range. That's what I want to say, in the 7 range. I don't know. I need to rewatch it, and that's when I get like another feel for it. So
okay.
There were things that I really liked. But then there were things that I think really dragged as well. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
And what is your opinion of this scene with White Worm telling her they need to go after Targaryen bastards instead of houses that have been married into it?
Well, I'm trying to separate like certain book things from the show, which is, it gets complicated for me. I mean, I don't think that she's not Rhaenyra's hand. Okay. So the hand, if anything, it's kind of like Misara's acting like a hand to Rhaenyra. And I think it's a little bit like out of place. I know that they like discuss things and everything, but it just, I don't know. I feel like this is something that should have been brought up in the beginning. And I thought that was the whole purpose with the girl being sent down to King's Landing.
Yeah, it's kind of like you said, though, like she has a hand. So shouldn't she be consulting Lord Corlys about this stuff? And she's not. Like, so it just seems so forced. And like Tim said, like, it's so random for her to be the person that's doing this. And it's just, obviously it's not canonically right with the book source material. So
I'm listening. I got to get the.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, but it's, yeah, to Kayla's point, like it's just so weird. And I think like the separation and comparisons definitely makes it hard to truly appreciate what's supposed to be happening, plot wise. And kind of like Sketch was saying, there's certain things that could have been rearranged in this episode to adjust the flow through its entirety, so.
I agree. I agree with everybody, though. My opinion is still this is probably the worst episode out of all of them. Actually, 6 still might be the worst. 6 still.
I was about to say, you think this? You were about to say this is the
5 or
worst.
6 is the worst. I think
this is the second to me.
To me, this isn't the worst episode. No. If I had to rank all the episodes, this would probably be in the middle of the episodes so far. But I personally don't think it's the worst. Because I think there are 2 other episodes that are way worse than this.
Yeah,
I'm with Lady B on this one. This one was boring.
I think it was definitely overhyped. I will say that much.
I'm gonna fight you on that one because as soon as we get to the back half of this, I think that all flips around.
The back half was great, absolutely. But I want something that's consistently good.
Agreed.
When I look at Game of Thrones season 1, okay, and in season 1, think about it, season 1 of Game of Thrones, we did not get many battles. I think there was maybe one towards the end. We did not. Most of the scenes were talking and building up the characters, and you can't compare. Even season 2 of Game of Thrones. Say we're comparing season 2 to season 2 of House of the Dragon. I mean,
but I don't think you were here yet, Kayla. But what I said was earlier on, and I'll make this quick. Usually, penultimate episodes in Game of Thrones were a significant episode, right? Like season 2, the Blackwater Bay.
Yes, phenomenal episode.
Not the same as this one.
No, definitely not. I mean, I think they're building up for episode 8, the final episode, to be like I'm hoping it's like a 9. I don't get 10s out that easy.
It would have to be for like them to even think about having like hype transfer from this season to the next, because
I was very surprised by the trailer, by some of the things I saw in the trailer for next week. I was like,
oh yeah, they're rushing a lot of shit in that.
Well, they're definitely not following the order as far as continuity goes.
Nope.
You know, so that,
you know what the runtime is for the last episode?
Is that the 73?
I think it's 70 minutes.
It's 73 minutes
with the intro.
Like 68, 69 minus the
something like that.
Yeah.
So before we continue, we have 149 people watching. Thank you, everybody. Please make sure to come over to YouTube, hit the notification button, like button, subscribe button, and also there is a poll going on the YouTube side. I forgot what I put. Would you tame a dragon? Yes or no? And Christian Cole's a little bitch is the third option. So please go ahead and vote, and I'll look at the results at the end. All right, back into the episode. I am totally cool if you guys want to just jump to the last half of this.
Please.
Because that seems to be where all the action is.
We don't have
something about Hugh the Hammer that really stood out to me as a book reader.
Yes.
And I fucking lost my mind. Can I swear on here?
Yes,
yes,
you can.
I'm sorry.
Oh God,
I'm
Kayla,
so used
what are
to
you doing?
guys.
Kayla, if you're not swearing on here, I'm disappointed.
Okay, no, I like this Damon's part that's coming up.
This was great too. Yes. He put him in his
like this.
I was like, yo, this young dude got some balls to steal.
In a way, I was wondering, was Damon still tripping out because there was no blood that gushed on his face or anything?
I am so over Damon in his haunted house.
So am I,
dude. I am so over it.
I think it's the best part of the whole season.
Like I said,
I loved it at first.
A little bit.
At first, I loved it, but now it's just too much. I'm tired. I know for the most part, Damon, though, in the books, does spend a lot of time at Harrenhal, but he's not affected by any of this crap. He's not. He's like the only, like one of the only people that's not affected by her shit. He sees through it. So it's very different.
I'm with you now that I think of it, that he might be hallucinating.
I think he's hallucinating.
Every time somebody called him king consort, I'm like, why aren't you correcting him, dude? Like, you want to be king. You did it all last episode. Why are you not? Why? And I was like, why haven't you snapped?
He did though.
Not in this episode.
Yes, he did.
Everybody called him king consort the entire time.
He did it in private, like inside before they went to the exterior scene, I think.
When they were outside, he goes, "My prince," and he goes, "Careful, boy, watch your mouth," whatever. And then, what was the other one? He did it twice, I think, this episode.
I can't remember right now, to be honest.
While you find
it's more for me the blood splatter. Why was there no blood splatter, no blood shown? That to me was, and then we cut to Viserys, which thank God for Patty Constantine. I'm sorry, love Patty Constantine was, and that's why season 1 I think was so much stronger than this season. Like they're severely missing an actor that is taking his place. I just think he did such a phenomenal job fleshing out Viserys's character and everything. If you're gonna go different from the book and you have the opportunity to use the book to flesh things out where there was not much really detailed about a character, that was the proper way to do it. And Patty Constantine was just phenomenal. I thought he was great, and I've enjoyed seeing him come back for these 2 flashbacks.
They went full like prosthetic
well,
makeup.
I mean,
just
tripping balls, and then how they cut to Aegon was cool.
I agree with you because especially with Otto not in, and he's a strong actor. The only other strong actor who's currently right now we're seeing, I would have to say, is Matt Smith as Damon, and he's out on his own adventure. So he's not even around to have those conversations with Rhaenyra or
but it's not even interesting in adventure. It's like this wishy-washy dream bullshit. I mean, like I said, these last 3 episodes have been a masterclass in making me not give a shit. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
You're not wrong. You had episode 4 with Rhaenys and the mini dragon fight, and then that was that it until now.
Yeah, episode 4.
I'm the only one that's like, I'm enjoying the build up. I don't really give a fuck about like all the action and stuff like that, because action doesn't matter if what we're building up to has no consequence. So like if we just going straight into things, then y'all would just be like, well, it doesn't matter, we're just fighting. So like this right here with everything with Daemon in season 1, he's supposed to be like this rogue, like this gun, nobody knows about him, he acts like he doesn't care. And then we find out this entire season that, oh no, he does care. He cares what everybody thinks. He wants the crown, but he understands the weight of it, even though he tries to act like he doesn't understand it. He knows everything that's going on around him.
I get that, Kaida, but there's no payoff.
That's what I said. I would agree with you, Kaida, if we had something happen in between. Like, you don't have to give me huge consequence battles, but give me some sort of action for all of the scheming that's happening already. It just seems like they build it up and then nothing happens, and then we're at another episode, they build it up and then nothing happens. Like, we've literally only had one battle this entire season. Just give me something. It doesn't have to be all force dragons fighting in the air and guns blazing, even though guns don't exist in this universe.
True.
Just give me something. Just something.
Get the artillery out. Get the harpoons.
I was expecting possibly to see the Battle of the Red Fork this episode. To be honest, it seems like they were kind of possibly like building that there with the Lannister army going up to Golden Tooth. I thought maybe we were going to see Pate the Longleaf, because Golden Tooth is halfway to the point where the Red Fork battle takes place, and I mean, really, the traveling and stuff, like, damn, Vhagar got near Dragonstone fast. I just want to say.
Skipped it that quick.
What?
That old lady flew real quick.
Everybody just looks tired in their face. Like, every single actor just looks tired. And I'm like, I would be tired too if all I did was just give monologues after monologues all the time and then not have any actions happening. Just like... Why am I carrying a sword in the first place? Give me something, just something of huge consequences. The only thing that's happened is this Aemon's taken over Aegon. Okay, whoop-de-fucking do. Like, give me something happens big that's just going to lead into it more. I understand that Blood and Cheese was in the beginning half of this season, but even that was lackluster. Just like,
that only lasted like one episode.
There was not enough impact, I think, in Blood and Cheese for me as someone that read the books. The scene was not as impactful as it was in the books. Obviously, like, it's horrible when anything happens to a child, but it just did not have the same impact for me as a book reader, where there was more weight with having to make a decision. And
even this episode, I don't feel any tension build up. Like, I don't feel there's anything that's going to lead to consequences for the next episode. Granted, I'll eat my words. If something big happens next episode and they end on a cliffhanger, then it's going to be 2 years before we get another season of, and they just did the fan base dirty. Like, give me something at least this episode that just is like, oh man, I can't wait till next Sunday. I can't wait to see what happens. Nothing happened here. There's
but we just got that. We got Daemon. We got the River Lords. He just got an entire army right here. Rhaenyra just got 2 dragon riders after the sowing. Okay, so we have something. I guess going it just
doesn't. Yeah, but it's so boring and like forced and slow. Like, get get.
Just could have happened last episode.
Okay, even if they showed them like celebrating after doing those things, like that would kind of even give you more of a make it feel less exploratory, where it was like it just feels like you're just being fed exposition the whole time.
And is the next episode going to be boring, where like now it's going to rush everything
I
to
hope
the end?
not.
Rush everything.
I saw
to
the Winter Wolves, so
I'm just like, if they wanted to do eight episodes for this season, that's great. But the last two, this episode and the last one, seemed a lot of filler going on. Granted, there were some high moments, but a lot of filler. Like, expand on the Dragon Riders. You want to give these people personalities and character development. Tell me more about these three a little bit, then, if you want to fill in some space.
No ties to any of them. None of them feel like they have any agency at all.
A lot of them do feel like they're just kind of along for the ride.
Off.
My father made some interesting comments about them, and it actually cracked me up. I've been recording him every week. It's pretty funny. His
What's
comments,
with the goat,
predictions,
by the way?
So I think it's supposed to be representative. It's supposed to be some kind of representation. At first, I thought it was a black sheep. Like Damon felt like he's the black sheep of the family, and then I realized it was a goat. So I think it's supposed to represent that it's he's tripping. I think it's like he's tripping balls again.
I was expecting to see Alice.
The black
there,
goat of the family is a great one because like he is kind of like the outcast, but like he's also the most formidable. So like, he is the black goat.
I thought my
opinion
is, it's a goat, and goats are used in sacrificial ways.
Yes.
So like, is he sacrificing himself for something? Is he, in a sense, turning back towards the fact that maybe Rhaenyra is supposed to be the queen, and stuff like he's going to sacrifice himself in some way? That's what I thought, but
no, Nadia, that makes sense, because if we pan to the next scene, what is Viserys talking about?
I love how he has the crown in his hand.
So basically, he was saying here, like this time. I'm sorry, this was the past scene, and then he sees the goat. The things that Viserys is saying while he's holding the crown and everything, like the weight of it, he didn't ask for it. Everything that he was saying. Lady B.
She was too busy getting it from Sir Strong and her uncle.
Well, technically, I mean, in the books, it was written that she was fond of Lena. And when George R. R. Martin uses the word fond of, and she spent a lot of time with Damon and Lena. Going for dragon rides and hanging out all the time. I mean,
I wish they never skipped through that in season 1. I wish they never skipped that time period.
Yeah.
This looks so good. I'm just so glad.
The makeup is so makeup and it's phenomenal.
I go, when I see him, I go, yes, Patty's back. And my husband's like, why don't you just call him Viserys? I'm like, no, you don't understand.
Patty.
It's Patty.
It's Patty. Patty the Batty.
Well, the best part of this was that him doing it in the like dead makeup was all his idea, and he was like that. This is a requirement for me to do this cameo for you guys. I was like, Patty.
The fact that he was like, I'm gonna be in this one scene. Let me sit in makeup for another 6 hours or whatever. What does he say?
Avoid it to pay off.
Dude, he is dedicated. It just shows you what kind of actor he is.
He's committed.
I'm still upset he never got the Emmy, dude. He was amazing.
Robbed. He was robbed completely.
Robbed.
And you know what? And that was one of the best things about season 1 was basically see him like from having like some health and basically watching his health deteriorate and his look, how it progressed and changed. We literally watched him turn from like human being to the crypt keeper by the end.
Yeah.
So it was phenomenally done. So
usually.
And I thought this was good too. I actually liked how they transitioned the scenes because it's really Aemond really is a mirror of Daemon, right? And Aegon is now basically in the place of Viserys, and even down to how he looks.
He's a young Viserys, basically.
So
I really like this scene.
His ear is gone, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, he's
just all
looking
whole.
like Quasimodo almost. Like he's looking.
He's got some Deadpool vibes going on there, you know. Like
I was gonna say more like
Avenger.
oh god, why am I drawing the blank? The
Toxic
Stranger
Avenger
Things.
or something. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
Vecna. Yeah, he's got a little bit of Vecna going on there.
yeah.
That's a bald cap with a prosthetic over the ear, and that's probably all alcohol-based makeup to get the veining and coloring right, or it's airbrushed.
That's good.
I will say he was acting his ass off in the scene because, like, I caught myself wincing when they carried him back to bed and going like, ooh.
When he fell.
Oh my god.
His broken leg probably gave out, you know, like
The
so interesting,
being super realistic. I will say, you know,
especially around the ear.
I
don't
grew
know.
up
I've
with
never
someone
been
that was a burn
by a
victim
dragon.
and looked very similar.
One of my finals in special effects school, I did a burn victim, and she went home with the makeup and got stopped multiple times asking if she needed help.
Shit.
That's amazing.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, this is interesting. Well, I feel absolutely zero sympathy for Allison. I do feel sympathy for Aegon because Aegon was a kid kind of thrust into this. He really didn't know the political play that was happening to get him on the throne. And he also had a mother who is not very motherly towards him, right?
Yeah.
Not very loving towards him. Didn't really, and obviously we could tell Viserys really liked Rhaenyra as his favorite out of all his kids. So like he didn't really have parental love in his life, and he gets thrust to be a king. His brother betrays him. So like I actually feel sympathy for this character watching him suffer
very
through
much.
this.
Oh my god, that last episode where he's laying in bed and Alicent is walking away and he just kind of whimpers mommy. I almost started crying and like I was
but
just
also like his brothers like coming in like squeezing like the pain, he's like the like chest in his head,
shoving that ball into his burnt torso.
Yeah.
And at the end you see him unstick it and you see like a little bit of
skin come off.
Like, oh my god, I've had a bad sunburn and that happened. I can't even imagine what it'd be like to have like 3rd and 4th degree burns.
You stay on the sun for like
Larry's
2 many
right
hours,
now
peeling for weeks.
Pushing the king.
Larry's right now, right?
Yeah, Larry's back up on his up and working because I think Larry's is just like, hey, we need this guy back because his brother's a psychopath.
That's pretty much it. Because remember, he in the last episode he tried to
he got snubbed.
kind of work his manipulation tactics on Aemond and try to get him to be put into a position of hand of somehow. And Aemond saw right through it. So
he shut that down real quick.
Although I do think Larry's just that scene with him and Aegon was phenomenal where, you know, he's a clubfoot and he's essentially disabled. That was actually very good acting.
That was a great scene.
It was
it was a little ironic.
His best scene of the season, I would think, Larry's. But it just showing, you know, he feels for Aegon, but the ulterior motive is that Aegon is more pliable, he's more moldable, more controllable in an aspect because there's this naiveness to him. I truly don't think anyone has ever genuinely loved Aegon besides his dragon.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
I will say this part right here. I saw someone on Twitter was like, "We've had this entire season, and he's just been at this goddamn shipyard the whole time." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll give you that. Like they have been dragged. I know they're rebuilding his boat or whatever. Like his prize.
No scenes of him on a boat. Like
no scenes on a boat.
Greatest
no combat whatsoever.
I feel like they're working on this. They're working on the same fucking boat each time this scene comes up. I feel.
Yep.
Yeah, because it came back from I guess it came back from like the Narrow Sea fighting the Triarchy or whatever, and they've just been repairing it this entire time. And that's his boat, like his prize boat, the one area he got his name from. So it's like, okay, I get it, but goddamn, get the ship done. You've been here the whole season, bro. the whole
Yeah,
season.
y'all workers slow as hell.
Crying.
You speed this shit up real quick.
I have a question for the book readers.
Mhm.
I was a little confused by this. So when he's like, I didn't know what your mother's heritage was, I thought Valerians can be dragon riders.
No, they're not dragon
No.
riders.
So then why
so
is
what
he
he
part
was saying
Targaryen
was
as well?
no, he was saying that his mother was probably a Targaryen bastard. This is new. Like in the books, it was speculated who their parents were. Was it Laenor? Was it Corlys? It was speculated, but here they're saying it's Corlys, and he's saying he didn't know his mother's heritage. So that means she must have been like a Targaryen bastard for him to be a dragon rider.
So Corlys is just full Valerian then?
Yeah.
Or is he part then? But he rides a dragon, doesn't he?
No.
Nope.
Wait.
No.
Never go.
Never mind.
Valerian.
I'm
It's
confused.
the children
very-
do because
it's-
Rhaenys.
Because of Rhaenys.
It's very
Got-
complicated because there actually were Valerians, like Jelena Valerius, not a Targaryen. She rode a dragon. She rode a dragon all through Sothorios for 3 years. So there's within the books, there's a lot of different stuff. And also the possibility that dragons, like George R. R. Martin has said, if you go back to some of his answering questions to people, and I believe it was one of his Nada blogs, he said the dragons existed all over the world, basically, of Planitos, where, all of the Song of Ice and Fire at one point, he
We're
said.
supposed to be getting more in book 6 too, remember?
As he says.
As he says.
So it's Targaryens definitely had their own bond with dragons, but it's also too like Ashai is. I could be here forever. Like Ashai is a big factor. There's a lot. I'm gonna shut up now because I'll be here for an hour getting off topic. So, but technically, Aegon the Conqueror, his mother was Valena Valerion.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I was just wondering about that because I'm like, I thought Valerians could also ride dragons, but it must, for some reason, I thought Corlys rode a dragon this season.
The
I must have
Valerians
just
and Targaryens have intermixed for so many times. It's just like when Jaime Lannister says, like, the Brackens and the Blackwoods, there is a Blackwood in every Bracken blood and so on and so forth. So, although the Targaryens do try to keep it pure within themselves, but like I said, Aegon the Conqueror, his mother was Valena Valerion. So
I'm really disappointed also we didn't get much of the Vale in this season too, with it being such an important place.
Yeah, I didn't like the redesign of it either. Of the actual castle. I didn't like that. I liked the way it looked in season 1 and in the previous seasons in Game of Thrones. It looked epic. Here it just looks small. And I don't like her storyline that they're doing with her, because so is she gonna replace what's the little bitch in the book Nettles? Is she gonna replace her?
I think so.
It seems like they're combining characters like they did with Game of Thrones. I think we're seeing with the Dragon Seeds, Wolf and Hugh and her. We're getting a combination. They're combining different characteristics and traits to make Nettles, which I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. Nettles is a fan favorite within the books, and she's someone that survives beyond the Dance of the Dragons. And it also kind of, I don't know, like some people have said like, oh, it's because they don't want Daemon to cheat on Rhaenyra, but then you have Rhaenyra cheat on Daemon.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. I don't understand the logic behind it. The only thing I can possibly think is, are they going to bring in Nettles next season and perhaps have her claim Cannibal or something?
Maybe, yeah.
Is that what the dragon's name is? Cannibal? This wild one?
Well, this Cheap Stealer. I believe this one's going to be Cheap Stealer.
Yeah.
Technically, there are no dragons in the Vale.
Yeah, that's super odd. Because it's
wait. Here is your dude, Kayla. Kaida. Where is he?
Where's
Let's find him.
You know what?
It's right here, I think.
There we go.
God, what is his name? I can see him in another role, but I can't think of his name right now.
She says his name if you want to like try to play pause it real quick, but
no, not the knight that he is. I'm talking about the actor.
No, I know, but like just find out what his name, what the actor or his name is. Sir Rickard.
Rickard.
Okay, so who the fuck is Sir Rickard?
And again, this is another scene I feel that could have been cut. I don't give a fuck about this.
I feel like this is like my everyday life, just trying to escape into the fucking woods. Just swim.
Oh, Shield might have it.
No way. Hold on. No shot.
Yes, Shield. You're correct.
Sammy says it's correct.
No
Vincent
shot.
Regan?
No shot.
Vincent Regan? Regan?
I'm on Google right now.
Google's been
I don't really know. I'm just saying it does look like super old Scotty from Star
What
Trek.
has he been? He's been in Troy, Clash of the Titans, Aquaman, Lost, One Piece.
Is that his name?
Is Garp in One Piece? His name is Vincent Regan, Regan. Luther, Before We Die, Traces. I don't think there's anything like that's
300. That's what it was. 300. He's the dude that's beside Leonidas at 300. That's who it is. The one who has.
That is so random.
Right.
That is so random.
Oh,
I've seen 1,000 times. So
Zack Snyder's best movie, 300.
Relax.
It
he
is.
was in Troy too.
I like Watchmen, but he wasn't really
was in
much
Black
in charge of
Knight
Watchmen.
With Martin.
I didn't mind
Lawrence,
watching it until
Clash
the
of
very,
Titans.
but I'm not going to go on that rant.
Well, you talking about the movie? Oh, I liked watching. Yeah, no, that's his best movie, not 300.
I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the change.
Yeah, but they couldn't have done the change. I mean, they couldn't have
And
done.
back to House of
They
the
did it in
Dragon.
the show.
Oh yeah.
This here threw me off completely.
Well,
Like,
yeah, because it's
this-
like it was your plan.
This threw me off completely. Yes, it was his plan, but also too, it's.
Well, it was his
They
plan to
just-
do it with the houses that have Targaryen blood, so they can have alliances. He's
Yeah.
looking at it as "quote unquote" lowborns. If they know they're Targaryen and they become dragon riders, they have a leg up on being able to claim the throne. I understand where he's coming from,
I mean,
but this is wartime, my friend. You need everybody you can get at this point.
I know from a book standpoint why they put this scene in here for the future with certain characters. I definitely know why they put this in here, for what I believe why they put this in here. But really, I just
No, but
from
he is putting the cart before the horse.
don't. You know, in the books, his look is very different. It's different.
I'm glad we finally acknowledged it, though. Like,
Yeah.
clearly you're a bastard. Like, look at your other siblings with your uncle. They look just like your mom, and you and your brothers did not. Clearly, you're a bastard. I mean, and then look at your wife. Look at your wife, and come on.
I think that's also point to the fact that like he's a bastard, so thus he feels like these people are on the same foot level as him, too, as well. So why would he be the one to be rightful heir when there's a ton of other older men fighting men? You know, like why would it be him chosen to be his heir? Now he's got competition.
Yeah, but like I said, he's putting the cart before the horse on this because he's saying he's worried about a claim to a throne that they have not yet gotten back. So you need to do what you need to do to get her ass on the Iron Throne before you worry about any of that. So, you know, going about any means necessary is kind of your only option here. You need to get any advantage that you can. And, you know, if you want to sort that out and, you know, once she's on the throne, she can do whatever she wants. I mean, but like worrying about this stuff before they even have a legitimate claim to the throne is it's ill-timed to kind of have this, but I do understand why he feels this way. But like this is the like the worries of a boy, not like the worry of a king. This is not, you know what I mean? So the way that she talks to him afterwards, I thought was great, because she's going like, I don't want any of this. I never wanted any of this. This is the hand we've been dealt. So, you're going to have to man up here and go along with it, because they have to do whatever they have to do to win, or who cares? He has a claim to nothing.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's also heavy foreshadowing for some things to come.
Yep.
All right, we're getting close to the dragon pit scene, but I just want to say, why the fuck are you wearing a red robe? You are standing out.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
That was my first thought when I saw that.
Her whole reason of being sent here to begin with. Like when they were like, oh, why was this chick sent here? To figure out who the dragon seeds are, to keep an eye.
But he's super obvious running around in red. Like everybody's gonna know, like, oh, it's the bitch with the red coat going around.
Was your exclamation point at the dry cleaners?
It was very.
Maybe everyone else would just think she's like a whore or something, So
wait.
She
Say it with your accent again, Kayla. She's a
whore.
A whore.
A whore.
Yeah. A whore.
Love it.
I'm moving forward to the. We're getting there.
I did like this scene though, where he's clearly fucking scared, and I did the scene with Hugh. I'm conflicted because it does give him depth, and he is like actually a character. Like he's been like they've been doing things with him this entire season to build him up. And at first I didn't like it. I was like, oh, you're just shoehorning him in because of what we see happen in this episode. But I did grow to enjoy him. And I don't know if I like the change that they're doing with who his mother is, or if it's annoying me. I'm not sure.
To me, I was mind blown. I was like, holy shit, they're insinuating that his mother is Sarah Targaryen.
Oh, yeah.
Like they were insinuating that. I was like, mind blown. So in short, Sarah Targaryen, I'll fill you guys in. She was one of the good King Jaehaerys's children. Okay. Yeah. And she basically gave her maidenhood away to 3 men at a time, pretty much. Made a joke about it, and the family kind of disowned her besides her mother. Eventually, she was sent to Old Town and was supposed to be a silent sister. And she escaped from there on a ship to Lys, where she basically ended up being a sex worker. Mm-hmm. So, and yeah.
Sarah's a little freaky, man.
Yeah, and yeah,
turn of events for her. Do you Targaryen princess to a
well, just like in short. Yeah, I mean, and the good Queen Alice saying she wanted her back and all of this stuff, but Jaehaerys forbidded it completely. He disowned her completely. Yeah.
I just think that's
kind of crazy. And she did have 3 bastard children. It's known, it's documented that she had 3 bastard children. What happened to them, no one really knows, but it's documented within the A Song of Ice and Fire wiki and some of the books. It's pretty much that she had 3 bastard children that she sired.
Yep.
In the books, though, is it known who his mother is?
No, it's not known who any of the bastards' parents are.
Parents are okay, except for So people was the other one lying then that he's brother to Daemon and Viserys?
That would have to be that they're making this up for the show. That would have to be what they're saying, implying who his father is.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's something that George signed off on till I talked with Ryan Condal, but hey, so is this cool if we say that? And he's like, yeah, that's essentially what I thought about anyway. So go ahead, reveal it for the show, sort of thing. I mean, I think unless George adamantly comes out with that, who knows? We might get another blog that kind of reveals more or less what he was actually we know him thinking of and being sarcastic on, or not. But
please skip this.
I thought it was actually a beautiful scene. Was it necessary? No. I mean, I think it's symbolic of her trying to reconnect to herself in some aspect, or find herself in some aspect, because she really doesn't know who she is. So she's reconnecting with nature to do it.
Don't care.
But I think she's absolutely beautiful. I think she's beautiful, and I think that this scene was shot absolutely beautifully.
Yeah,
was
she's
just
why no
gorgeous.
boobs?
Looks good.
why no
but
boobs?
what?
Yeah, why no boobs here though?
Yeah.
Like,
No, but why?
Yeah.
Why are we
As
having
soon
this
as,
thing
soon as
like?
they showed this part and they showed her undoing it, I was like, finally. And then,
I'm not Laris Clubfoot. I don't give a shit about her feet. Okay,
yeah,
don't show me her feet.
I was just waiting for the Silco Arcane drowning monologue to kick in while she was there. I'm not gonna lie.
It's beautiful. I thought it looked beautiful, like the way that was shot. Like that's gorgeous.
They talked
What
about
is
her
that famous
trying to commit
painting?
suicide.
What's that painting of the
I thought
drowning
she was gonna
girl?
kill herself.
Is it Ophelia?
Drowning Ophelia from
Yeah.
Shakespeare.
Yeah, that's what it
so.
makes me kind of think of.
Yeah, but still no boobs, so I'm out.
Yeah, just
Not
one.
even a nipple. Not even a nipple. Not even like a sheer
Like,
like.
oh, it slipped side boob. Like, nothing.
You're telling me that water's not cold? Like, come on now.
It looks cold.
You got a sports bra under that thing? What's going on?
Yeah.
This
Sports bra in medieval times, Sammy.
Yep.
I'm like, when am I going to see Silver Denny's? They casted him. I want to see Silver Denny's. I want to see him lose his freaking arm and get freaking devoured. I mean, I thought it would possibly be in this scene. That was something when I read Fire and Blood. When you get to Silver Denny's, I laughed my ass off at the unfortune of this poor man. But this was
Didn't they do that last episode with the guy? Is that who that guy was who got his arm chopped off?
No. I think he's going to be the shepherd.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
I think he might be the shepherd later on down the line. I mean, possibly not, but there's a reason why they zoomed in on that hand when it fell. There's certain choices I think they make, and he'll be forgotten about for a while, and then you'll come back to that moment and be like, oh shit. So I think he may end up being the shepherd, but no, Silver Denny's. It's an event that happens between Sheep Stealer and Cannibal, but just not knowing what's going on and that we're not going to have Nettles. And I see a lot of Hugh the Hammer taking on the view of the small folk, which Nettles really serves a purpose for.
I can see that happen.
So,
like I said, I didn't like him at first because I thought they were just like forcing him in, but throughout this season, I've started to really enjoy him.
Hugh?
For now.
I like Hugh.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna like you later on too. I will like. I can't wait for that.
Boy,
cannot wait.
Hugh's the Austin's boy, so
it's my boy.
I have
man.
a question for the panel on this scene here, where the Order of the Dragon's like, "Fuck you, Queen. We're not doing any of this." Like, aren't you employed by her? And the fact that you're on an island, where the fuck are you going? Like,
they're just gonna go watch.
So I think they serve. Correct me if I'm wrong. They serve House Targaryen because they're the Dragon Lords and things like that. And these people are like from Old Valyria. Like their line of people are from there. So they really like adore the dragons and revere them as gods. So they see all these bastards and they're like, "Oh no! Like you're selling like the specialness, I guess, of the dragons." That's why they leave. I thought it was fun. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me.
Especially after like the last time they tried this just went up in flames. Like
and when was people. So it made perfect sense to me.
I don't know. I just feel like you're employed by the Queen. You're supposed to be loyal to her. You're loyal to her lineage. You should be around to help, making sure it doesn't happen again.
Employed is a loose term in the sense that like a church is employed by a monarchy. They go very hand in hand, but I don't know. They're not truly employed.
I don't know. I would have just set my dragons on them. Anyway,
the dragons would probably look at her and be like, "Excuse me, what the fuck?"
I also like the fact that this speech, while very, I guess, quote unquote moving, very light on the fact that you could basically die, guys.
I was waiting for that.
Go back to your life or die in Dragonfire.
That was what Rhaenyra said when they get there after she calls out Vermithor. I thought it was great, to be honest. Yeah. This is like this to me, this last half of the episode, I loved.
See?
Yeah. Vermithor has a fucking cool ass design. I love the design of Vermithor, and it makes me mad that they gave Vagar such a crappy design. I'm so mad about that. It's Vagar.
You mean the sloppy iguana?
Oh my god! Why? Like, I don't know what they did to my girl. That's like my girl, my favorite dragon. And the look they gave her, it's an atrocity. I'm not pleased at all. I don't like the. They said that they wanted the dragons to basically, it's like they have cancer when they get older and their bodies break down, and I like,
what?
Why take the magical aspect away from the dragons? It's a fantasy TV show. The dragons are already here. Because the older they get, the more majestic and stronger they become. So, yeah, this is awesome. Vermithor's design,
so awesome.
The sound of his like flames, like his dragon fire, is so sexy. I was sitting there like, oh, I love that.
You and me are going to have we're gonna have sweet dreams tonight thinking about these scenes right here. Oh my god.
I just want the audio of him like doing his like breathing, like kind of like noises. Just I'm gonna fall asleep to that instead of like rainfall.
I gotta listen to it in headphones because I know
exactly.
It goes nuts.
Yeah,
my cats were going nutty. They were like purring and like going around the TV screen. They were getting all set off.
It's very possible that these dragon sounds are made like in part with like recordings like cat purrs that they've just processed and EQ'd all the way down with like the low frequencies.
I don't know. My cats were going off for Vermithor. I've never seen it with any other dragon before. To the point where like, what's he saying? Do you know what he's saying, girl?
This is like a really cool shot though.
Things like cat clicks and purrs get used for like those low growls for these big like lizard creatures all the time.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I rewatched. Don't ask why I was rewatched, but I rewatched Jurassic World the other day, and when when the Indominus like takes over the raptors and they're doing their little communication thing, those are also cat purrs. It's the same thing.
Interesting.
Well, it's like when they recorded the original T-Rex sound, they used a lion's roar, but they just altered it a lot. So it's like,
I think
it's always interesting the way they get
Godzilla too. Isn't Godzilla's like a lion's roar backwards or something?
Yeah. Godzilla also has a little bit of like, I think it's either a double bass or a cello in him that they've like done like a little bit of vibrato too.
Yeah, but my cats were very excited over Vermithor. I will say I'd never seen them do any weird shit like that before. So it's interesting. I want to look into this now.
This shot's really pretty.
Great shot.
To me.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Very
shot.
Pretty.
Great shot.
You can tell where the budget went.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Great.
But
that's a great shot.
And I'm here for it. Okay, I'm totally down for it.
Oh, I love this. This is gorgeous. Great cinematography here, in my opinion. With the shots.
I will say, the only downside to this scene, as great as it is, I did really like the scene. I thought that the sewing was going to be longer than that. Because it's supposed to be like a trial of them going through.
I thought it was like one by one sort of thing, maybe. But
they gotta rush it, and they did it well right here. I think they still did it well.
Besides I love the amount of build up they give. They give them just walking up to them all.
Yeah,
cool looking.
His teeth and like when he starts to expand his like his jaw, like almost like his gums even further. I will say though that when he starts to do that, and a lot of people freak out. Like obviously they have a right to it. It's a fucking dragon. But the one thing that I really respected about this part and just about like the storytelling in general is that, in season 1 you had Daemon sing his song when he went to go find him or summon him, right? And then now you have Rhaenyra going up to it, like she like literally just said like come over here, like and he just listens to her, and it's almost like. I feel like Vermithor knew exactly who they were. Like, oh, you're my old rider's grandchildren. That almost sounded like
that kind of made me sad though, because this poor man is so disfigured and has probably lived this horrible life.
Real quick.
So I guess like a lot of these people here, they don't really. There's nothing for them, so it's like fuck it.
play it. It sounds very Velociraptor-y.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I heard it.
Right here. I have a
that creep at the end of it.
Like raptors would jump at.
Yeah,
that's why I absolutely love that.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned the Velociraptor. I've got a bonus disc from my Jurassic Park collection from like the 2000s on the DVD. They talk about some of the sound design and how they made the raptors. Part of it is like a walrus. So I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of walrus in there as he's gearing up with the flames.
That's pretty interesting. I am the walrus.
I am the walrus.
Again, my theory on this is the fact that she knows most of them are going to die, thus getting rid of the competition. Just getting rid of the bastards. You know.
Thin them out.
I just think my dad's like the Hulk guy. My dad keeps calling Hugh the Hammer, the Hulk guy. Yes, and he's like, he's gonna get him. I'm like, why do you say that? Like, I knew the answer, but it's just hearing his logic and his reasoning behind it. It's great. I literally want to like take all these clips of him that I randomly record and make a giant video of it.
You really should. That'd be great.
I mean, he asks about the Dothrakis almost every episode. That's like, like he misses the Dothrakis.
That becomes a running gag for every episode, every video you produce.
Yeah. I love that.
Oh, it's even funnier.
Bernard literally barbecued people, and he was eating them, and this is fucking sick.
I think it might be the first time I've seen a dragon eat somebody, because normally I see they'll like chomp at somebody and like spit them out or throw them. This is the first time I've seen it almost like T-Rex, where they just consumed them.
He's eating them.
He even goes after the ones on fire too. Like they like softened them up for him.
Yeah, he likes a little barbecue, you know.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna point out as well. I love the fact this doesn't have any music underneath it. They just let the noise, the sound effect do their thing.
That's the best.
Look at that. Play it again. Do it again.
I think I get.
I love the way they really show his size. Like here you'll see his head, but like in the far background is his, his right part of the wing, and it's like his claw or hand like hits the ground. And it's like it's so far away, and it just exudes the size. Great.
Yeah, he's the second largest dragon in the dance. Second oldest as well.
His design.
They gave him a gullet too, but he still looks freaking cool.
Yeah,
like I don't even know, is that what you call it? Like a gizzard? I mean, it's a gizzard. I said a gullet.
Throat gizzard.
Wasn't this dragon the youngest of the three that flew with Vagar and Balerion?
No,
it wasn't.
No, because it was Vagar. It was Balerion, Vagar, and Meraxes, and Vagar was the smallest of them. So I don't know if that implies that Vagar was possibly the youngest.
So how old roughly is this dragon?
150? No.
At the time of the dance?
Yeah.
I think he's around 100 years old around the time of the Dance of the Dragons, to be honest.
I think of Vagar's like 150 years old or something like that, or is 180? I don't remember.
180 around the time of the dance. So I want to say I want to say he's probably around 100 years old during the dance. Sure. So I think that would mean that he was probably maybe a hatchling when Aegon the Conqueror died, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
His design is cool, but I feel Silverwing or whatever the other one.
Silverwing, yeah.
Silverwing
is beautiful. So gorgeous, like beautiful. Yeah,
you can actually see like in the glimmering light, her wing actually looked very like silver, which is obviously a nice touch and spot on.
I kind of thought
my boys love you.
I kind of thought she looked similar to Cyrax's design in ways, just darker.
Now, are any of these dragons siblings, or out of all of them that we've seen so far?
So that I do not necessarily know. I don't necessarily know at all. I wish I had the answer. And
who are they alluding to being the, I guess, the dragon mother of Daenerys's 3 in the series?
So in the books, it would be Dreamfire. Okay. If I go from book. In the show, they made it that it's Syrax is Daenerys's dragon's mother, which would make Sea Smoke, I believe, the father, and that's why we see in Sea Smoke's design a lot of similarities between like Drogon. Actually, Khaleesi's dragons all looked kind of the same. They were all kind of hard to tell apart.
They made them look like
very different looking.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sea Smoke's design looks like Drogon and all of them. So I think that's what they're implying.
I think that's definitely what they're implying because Laenor and Rhaenyra were together and their dragons probably spent time together where they were. There's a lot on just dragons in general. I went crazy and went down a loop, like giant loop, rabbit hole, whatever you want to call it, on Septim Barth after not a blog post. So I've uncovered a whole bunch of crazy information. So again, I could be here forever.
I like this claiming because that is Queen Alysanne's dragon, right? Jaehaerys' wife dragon. I like how, she's not like it's not aggressive, just like she wasn't. Like she was very kind and she was very nice. So the dragon's just like, yeah, okay, here we go. Like it's kind of reminiscent of her, and that's what I enjoyed about this one.
It's almost playful, like very playful with him, like pushing him over, not trying to hurt him, just being playful with him.
Almost takes pity on him for stepping in the turd.
Yeah.
Well, the dragon egg, and I think that might have smelled that he stepped in the dragon egg. He definitely stepped in a dragon egg.
I was kind of confused. Were those eggs or was that just like a dragon?
That was eggs.
Those are eggs.
I thought they were eggs. I actually couldn't tell by the end. So I thought they were eggs, but then the dragon just didn't automatically just murder him for.
So on the show, it was confirmed that those were Dany's eggs.
Okay.
It was confirmed that. In the books, no. Alyssa Farman took the eggs. So if you go back and look, because all the articles that came out with Dany's eggs, they're making it that Syrax is the mother of Dany's dragons.
Little retconning.
It's been confirmed that they are. There's been several articles posted in the past few weeks.
Yeah, George had to come out and say that, the book canon and the show canon
is not the same as show canon.
I cannot wait to see this dragon in battle because just even in the cave where it's not a lot of light, just the texture of that they utilized on this skin, it just looks so beautiful.
It's a great
dragon. The dragons are phenomenal. And
I'm Team Dragon now. I don't give a shit about green or black. I'm just Team Dragon.
Yeah, that's the right team to be on. It's a losing team, but it's the right team to be on. I'm Team Dragon too. I mean,
Team
the day I see something
dragon.
happen in Stormcloud is the day I'm going to lose my shit.
We're here for a fun time, not a long time, okay?
Yeah.
That baby dragon Stormcloud was so cute. I really miss seeing baby dragons. House of the Dragon, you thought you would have saw more hatchlings. The moment anything happens to Stormcloud, I'm going to riot. I don't want to see nothing happen to a baby dragon.
Speaking of that, from the little trailer that they showed for next episode, is that going to happen? That's going to have to happen next season.
Caesarion?
The gullet?
The gullet? Yeah, gullet would be next season.
Yeah, season 3
so
for sure.
I compiled a list of all the events in order. I can pull it up and read it to you guys because I'm crazy.
Because Darren's not going to be in next week's finale, I don't think.
No,
but his dragon was shown in the episode, though, in the trailer, though. That's the thing.
It's interesting. So maybe we're just going to see him coming towards King's Landing, I guess, but not see him. Just get a look at Caesarion, I guess. Yeah. But we won't really typically be seeing him till Battle of the Honeywine. That's where he plays a.
Because we haven't gotten another character back yet in the season that is relevant to him being in the show either. So I don't think it's going to happen in the finale next week. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely need him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like his character. I like him in the books. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I love this dragon
cool
design.
So, I mean, right now it looks like they're just trying to do events in 129 AC because when 130 AC hits, that's when it marks like the Battle of the Gullet. It would have been cool if there were more episodes, it could have ended with the Battle of the Gullet. But I just
that's what I
don't
thought
know.
we were getting to this episode. I was like, oh, cool. They're leading up. We're getting another battle. There's going to be consequences. And then the season finale will wrap up everything. And it'll give us a little bit of like closure, but it'll get us excited for season 3. No, they just pissed in my face.
Wrong.
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 I'm going to rewatch this episode.
You know,
I think this dragon design is beautiful, like even more so in the light.
This thing's menacing as hell. Look at the
so
wing
awesome.
membranes.
Look at these. Yeah.
So cool.
The scale tail
cool.
scales.
Spikes.
So good.
Makes me think of like a Skyrim dragon design.
Yes.
That's
very
like
That's a
God,
good
I
what
thought
a game.
I kind
actually
of
gonna
chuckled at
compare-
this scene where he's running out to get Vhagar. Felt
Yeah.
like a little kid on a bicycle. Like I gotta
I
go
said,
get my dog.
I said, Austin, imagine taking a horse to get your dragon. Like
He's got
Yeah.
to take the Hummy to get into the tank.
I just am amazed at the time. So I'm trying to figure out what is the time span here. Like,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
skipped through a lot of that.
because
They skip through a lot of the time, like in between going
like
from
he's
place to place and all
fast
that.
traveled.
So
It's like a video game. Fast
they'll
travel.
fast travel this shit, but they'll drag out other parts. It just makes no sense.
Yeah, like the Hightower army and how long it takes for them to get to where
Everyone
they're
back
going.
at King's Landing was extremely lucky that the knights didn't just fire onto the dragon with the artillery wall. Aemon was out here getting his dragon
Yeah.
for
Poor
the whole
Vhagar.
hour it took him to ride out or something like that.
But why
I mean-
isn't Vhagar in the like dragon lair that I'm sure there is one in
Way
King's
too
Landing,
big.
right?
She's
Way
just trying to
too
be an
big.
iguana now, you know?
She's too big.
Be one with the earth.
Way
Like
too
Earth,
big.
like Earth Godzilla.
I mean, I get it. Taking naps outside is pretty cool when the
She's
weather's
old
nice.
and she doesn't want to be around them damn kids.
Oh, boy, bitch.
She's too big.
Get off my lawn!
Yeah,
She's
just-
trying
I
to
got
get-
Voldemort.
I'm sorry, but her design is just awful. It
I
looks like
like
What you did to her?
It's
I
like,
like
she
it.
looks menacing and
Exactly.
I do like
the
the
concept. I like the
design of Vhagar.
concept.
Scary.
It's literally just like an AC 130, basically, and I'm kind of here for it.
I love
Yeah,
it. It's just
I-
huge,
the head in
scary.
this scene. The head does not match the feet. The head is so small right here in this
She got that,
CGI.
To me, it's an
No.
atrocity. I mean, when I look at the artwork that's done in Fire and Blood, when I look at like Urtak,
Yeah.
Alamos, like the artwork he's done of Vhagar, I picture Vhagar being this majestic beast. Yes, huge. This dragon looks like it's falling apart. Yes, she's battle hardened and has seen more fights than anybody. I mean, at this point, and I just don't like the design. It's not how I picture Vhagar at all. I picture Vhagar being like, yes, huge, but yes,
Cool.
exactly. I picture Vhagar like this. You
Yeah,
know,
just like
The
that.
show, Vhagar in the show's got that like Super Mario movie Goomba.
it's
Build.
yeah. If Vhagar is like the queen of all dragons,
Yep.
make her look like a fucking queen, not like this. Oh, like I just don't.
Sky Slug.
She's old.
It's just. I
Let her be
get
old
that
and
they like the size, you know. I get that, but it's just.
I like
Can
it.
we? Can we?
I
Can we
just
get?
don't.
Can we
I
get-
don't like it. I'm a huge Visenya Targaryen stan, to be honest, and she's like
Your
the
bias is
true.
showing.
I am biased, absolutely.
Your-
And I love Vhagar.
Can we get
But this is
Grandma-
not how I picture Vhagar. And this has been a big disappointment for me personally because it's my favorite dragon and I don't think she looks cool. I don't.
I would be the same way if they ever do, Balerion and Aegon, right? Like,
well, they are. I'm so ready to see what they're gonna make Balerion look like. He better be like humongous.
No, he's gonna look
like I'm saying.
Like
he's gonna look like
horns.
Drogon, but huger.
But like all the artwork we have from the book, or even from other artists, like if he doesn't look anything similar to that kind of design, I mean, they're gonna make him different. They're gonna put their own little stance on it. Of course, we know, and we expect that. But don't lose the tone and the ferocity. Like, he needs to literally be dreadful. Like,
as long as he has his black flame, I'll be satisfied.
I don't know if they're gonna do the colored flames, because technically all the dragons should have a different color flame.
Yeah.
If we're getting technical,
he needs to be special though,
but that would make him stand out though, if they make him have the black flame with like the red mixed in there or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely needs to be different because of what he does to Harrenhal, right? Like, it needs a special flame and a special kind of fire from a special dragon to commit something that horrendous.
I mean, so far in the show, Caraxes has like the coolest design.
100%.
Little wormy boy.
Yeah, but like at that lore of like how the dragons were mixed with like the worms, right? So you've got like the bloodworm look to them.
Wyverns and fireworms.
Wyverns.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy. Just how big Balerion was.
He was
huge. I mean, we don't know either, because they say Vhagar grew almost to the size of Balerion, I believe. That's, well, not the exact words. I could find the exact words, but yeah, Vhagar got.
Well, Vhagar is going to
really
have to be. They're doing the Aegon show, so Vhagar is going to have to be in it. So she's going to be. She's going to have to be smaller.
So
she's going to be young, but she's going to be the smallest of the three.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know that
I want to see her formidable and huge and majestic looking, not like she's falling apart. Sorry.
Totally off topic in the question here, but I know we all want Henry Cavill to play Aegon, but it's not happening. How do we feel about Charlie Hunnam? I actually saw a sketch of him as Aegon.
He would. That's a good idea.
I think I would be for Charlie Hunnam to play.
I'm for Aegon. Anybody that's not famous being Aegon. I want them to like just bring somebody in and let him make that role his own. Because that would be the best way to go for it.
That's what I think.
She almost looks like very like sea serpenty here.
That's Balerion in the back.
Yeah,
that's Balerion.
His head's supposed to be a lot more artwork of him,
square.
Yeah, I think that might be Meraxes in the front.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
I can't tell.
I have another one.
I like that I'm like going like this.
I know. I'm like
computer, like.
That's another one.
Zoom in. Yes, God,
that's the way I wanted to look.
I'm gonna look like this, damn it.
I wanted to look like that.
If he doesn't look like this, I'm gonna flip a fucking table.
I'm gonna be pissed.
On stream, I'll flip a fucking table. On stream, you heard it here first.
I want to see it happen. Can I be invited to the stream?
I'll do it. Yeah,
I'll do it with him. I'll do it with him.
100%.
I'll be pissed because.
Oh wait! I think I found one of the better photos of him.
I'll even do it shirtless like Hugh Jackman. All right, like
do a Deadpool style. Just have the.
I think Mark Simonetti might have done some great artwork of Balerion too.
Ooh. Oh my God!
Yeah, he has to look. He has to be fucking. It has to be the best dragon design I've ever seen in my life.
If the dragon,
there's your Aegon the Conqueror, it should be Hugh Jackman.
Absolutely not.
Fuck no. I'd be so upset. Oh my God.
I mean, I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with the Night of the Seven Kingdoms show. That I'm excited for.
I'm about to start reading those books. I've never read them.
It's very lighthearted in comparison to anything else in the A Song of Fire universe. It's lighthearted. It's touching. I was truly touched reading them. You really fall in love with like me personally, like with Duncan, like Dunk the Lunk. as a character and everything, like his whole camaraderie with Aegon. It's a beautiful story, and it's so touching and heartwarming, and it's lighthearted, and it's a true tale of chivalry and knighthood and overcoming the odds and obstacles. And it's just, I highly recommend it. So, yeah.
This is just, makes me want to learn digital art so bad.
Like
it's like, looks so beautiful. Like, it's so just menacing, and just the details to it. And if HBO fucks that up, I don't know if we'll have a season 3 stream, but we'll see. All right, let's round this up. Let's get this.
Let's get to the fast travel of Vhagar going from King's Landing all the way to Dragonstone.
Dragonstone, yeah.
I get so excited. This was a great shot. This was so cool. I love this.
Oh, definitely was.
I think it's a cool shot, but there's no fucking way Aemon would see this from like across the sea to be able to see 3 fucking dragons on the.
It's just a cool shot.
I mean, he definitely could see Vermithor.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
When he landed next to her, I heard the marvels like. Bah, 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 bah,
That's a
this is a fantastic shot.
I don't know. I heard the A-Team theme.
Oh,
that's a great shot, though.
Oh wait,
that's
hold on.
Great.
It is a good shot.
Maybe
it's
I can get
really good shot.
All right, hold on.
I like how Vhagar's like, but I want to keep going.
Yeah.
It's
like, no, let me fight. I can take him. Let me solo her.
Yeah, let me solo her.
It just like a Marvel movie.
The real MCU, guys. The real MCU, right here.
Rhaenyra was like, "Come on, try me, bitch."
This is, you know, yeah.
Listen, Godzilla versus Kong #3 is looking hype right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Shield Wall is asking which dragons are that. So, which dragon is this one?
Well, that's Cyrax.
Cyrax in the front.
What's this one?
Sector.
Wait.
I can't see your mouse, but I think you're pointing.
Okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm over here. Okay, this one.
I still can't.
I'm sorry. The gold one next to her.
Gold one in the front.
That's going to be Vermithor.
The red one.
Cyrax.
Cyrax is the one with the little heart.
Cyrax is the one directly next to her.
Yeah, with the little heart necklace he's got.
I think the one in the back is supposed to be more bronze looking. That's supposed to be Vermithor, the Bronze Fury.
And then Silver Wing is up on the top.
On the top of
the
that
tower.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Sea Smoke didn't show up for their big hero moment.
Yeah, he's probably missing.
Or Jace's dragon either. Where is his?
Damn, they got a lot of dragons.
And then if Caraxes was there, bro, like Vermithor would have gotten fucking smoked.
So Team Black has 5 dragons at their disposal now, right?
The next biggest dragons,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, full grown dragons. Yeah.
And the Greens have 2.
I gotta appreciate with the preview trailer for the final episode, you gotta love the fact that Team Black was very just like wishy-washy and like, oh hum, we're just here doing our own thing. We have to be careful. And as soon as they get dragons, no, it's game time. We're gonna go fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no. Yeah, I'm surprised they don't show Vermax.
How you like me now?
Yeah, I don't know where Vermax was supposed to be at this point, but.
Yeah, I would assume he'd be there on Dragonstone.
Yeah, because Jace is still there.
Dragonstone in the books is way cooler looking. I just want to say.
It's way bigger.
It's huge in the books, yeah.
All right, so before we go around giving final thoughts and ratings on this episode, I just also want to again announce the fact that next Sunday is the final for this. And while we will be talking about it, everybody on the panel will be bringing their meme game. So we will be sharing memes from the season as well and just having a good time. So please tune in for that. But I'm going to go from the top around. So Sammy, final rating and thoughts on this episode.
I'm going to give this one a 5.5. Like it was passable. It wasn't fun. But important things did happen, I guess, to move the story along. But yeah, there wasn't anything. I will say the dragons look great, and all the, it was all passable enough. I didn't fall asleep, which is quite possible for me on a Sunday evening, and as you all know, and I enjoyed it. It's just above. It's a passing grade.
Okay. Kate, I know you liked it, but go for it, man.
I will give it an 8. I enjoyed the episode, especially towards the end. I like everything that's going on besides the Allison shit in the episode and Massaria, but everything else I was completely
so
game for it. I like it. Yeah, that Allison shit was just out of nowhere. It looked good, good shot. Had no purpose being there because it's not moving anything forward with her character or us. We don't care. I like the episode a lot. I've really enjoyed it.
Okay. I mean, again, you're allowed to be wrong, but it's all right. We're all allowed one. Nick.
Yeah. Not terrible. Not the worst out of the 7 for sure. I would definitely place it somewhere in the middle. Like, I think 4 is the best so far, and then maybe like the second and first episode behind. So like, I don't know. I think I won't completely bash on it. Because I agree with what Sketch said. Like, this episode has a lot of great cinematic shots and sound and visual effects, and obviously we know where the budget went, and I will include all of that in my rating and give it a nice 7 out of 10.
You're nicer than me. All right, Austin.
I'm being a little lenient today.
Man.
I think I'm being more Austin than I am myself, so forgive me.
Austin and I are vibing. Let's see, Austin. What do you got?
Listen,
we switched roles today? Oh, fuck.
This is my influence.
Shit is slow. If you take out the last 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes of that dragon scene, it's fucking shit. I really thought the show was incredibly boring. I actually remember making a couple comments to Nick during when we were watching it, which I usually don't say much. I usually ask questions and I'm like, don't tell me. But yeah, I just felt like there was nothing really going on. I get some of it was important, but there's got to be a better way to tell this story. And for the love of God, get the white worm out of the show. Somebody write her off. I don't care how. But with all that said, the dragon stuff was just so cool in the end. So I give it like a nice 61%. 60.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Sketch.
Right at time.
Thank you for joining us this time, and you're welcome to come back. You're welcome to come back next Sunday if you got some mean memes for House of Dragons.
I'll try my best to farm a few, but yeah. Thank you for allowing me to come crash your party with my non-book knowledge of just turning everyone into like, actually, no, this episode's got some stuff going for it.
So what are your thoughts and ratings on it?
Well, I'm going to say the same thing Kaida said. I'm giving it a lot of points for its sound design and for all of its dragon setup. Yeah, I'm going to dock a few points just because slow scenes can be cut, rearranged. But still one of my favorite episodes of the whole season. I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10 on this one as well.
Okay. Kayla.
I'm at, like I said when I came in here, like it's like a 7.5 for me. So there's still some issues with pacing. But the ending, all of the dragon stuff is just so cool. I fan out with it. I love dragons. And there, like I said, there were some cool tie-ins from book elements. Like I liked the bit about Hugh the Hammer and them alluding that Sarah Targaryen was his mother. I thought that was cool. But yeah, there were other parts that I thought weren't necessary, but the end made up for it, and that's why my score for this is kind of high. However, I do need to rewatch, and that's when I can make my definitive answer, because I'm either going to go down a point or I'm going to stay in the same range. So
respectful.
You guys are all so kind. You guys are all so kind.
Get him, Nadia.
I give this a 5 out of 10 because it's passable, but it's not an episode that is the second to last for a season ending. Like this episode, I would probably rate it higher if there were 10 full episodes this season, giving a little bit more of the story. But having this and not having the final set up properly, in my opinion, it felt boring. I was so bored up until the last bit of it. And there was just too much filler. You could have removed Alicent. You could have even just given me a whole episode expanding more on the 3 Dragon Seed riders, just a little bit more, just a tiny bit more, and I would have been happier with that. But the fact that we've only seen one battle this entire season is just really disappointing, in my opinion. So while passable for an episode, it's not my favorite. And honestly, I probably would give episode 6 a 4 out of 10 if I had to go back with the ratings for that one. I hope the next one makes me excited, but like if I didn't have you guys to hang out with after every episode, I would have bailed after last episode and just caught the ending when I catch it. I'm not excited for it, but hopefully it'll change my thoughts on it. The dragons look cool. I just want more dragon fighting.
And you need more Daemon.
We do.
I need a manly Daemon. I need a Daemon that's gonna step up and use his sword and use his brain and get the fuck out of there. And like,
you need season 1 Daemon, basically.
Yes, give me
Chad
season
Daemon.
1 Daemon. Yeah. All right. I'll let everybody go around, plug themselves where they're gonna be. We're gonna start back at the top. Sammy, where are you gonna be this week?
I'm going to be on Leon's channel tomorrow. It's his birthday, and I'm going to hang out there for a little bit, and then my schedule just starts over again. I'm going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on Gooch's channel for the animation block, and then sometimes Saturdays I'm on Circle of Jerks with Zax, and then I'm right back here. So.
Very cool.
And I will
Kaida.
spend the week farming memes.
Okay, yes, farm your memes, everybody. Get the good ones. Kaida, where are you gonna be, man?
I don't know where I'm gonna be. I've been all over the place. I guess I'll be wherever the wind blows, where everybody wants me to be at. If I get invited somewhere, that's where I'll be. But if you want to see where I am all the time, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitter a lot. Too much, actually. I need to get off this godforsaken app. I'm on Twitter. I might go live here after this stream to punish myself for enjoying this episode because nobody else did.
Sketch did.
Come on, I'm here. I'm trying to back you up here, man.
I appreciate it, but we're outnumbered, man.
Hey, we're outnumbered, but we're not down. I believe.
Follow me on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, follow me on all those social media platforms and all that. And yeah, I hope y'all have a great night.
Nick.
Yeah, we've got some content to pump out here. We just saw Deadpool Wolverine, so we're gonna do a review, a full-length review, and probably like a shorter version to put out on YouTube. I'm still editing a video that we did with Sammy last Monday, I believe.
Great time.
Yeah, I'm working on some funny things with that. So that we did on Batman. Kaida, I've got a movie suggestion, so we're gonna be doing one with Kaida, hopefully in the near future. So if anyone wants to do some content with us, talk about any of their favorite movies or shows, just hit us up. We're on X, YouTube. You can email us as well, and I don't think we're going to be in any other live streams anytime soon. But again, if you want something, we'll be more than happy and glad to stop by.
Austin, anything to follow up with that? Because I know you guys are partners.
Yeah, I mean, just definitely follow us on X or Twitter, whatever it is you call it now. Plot Strikes Back, and yeah, just stay tuned because there's a lot of we've talked
long legs.
Long legs.
Holy crap! What a good movie.
Thank you. God, man,
I heard that was a good movie.
Hopefully I'll see it Wednesday.
If you guys are looking for somebody to talk about that movie with, I'd be happy to jump
100%.
on. Or Vex too. Vex loved it as well.
I heard
She
Vex
did.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I just like Nicolas Cage. So
Hey, I haven't seen it.
Who doesn't like
nothing
Nicolas
about
Cage?
it.
I even like
like
Jiu-Jitsu,
Renaissance
and that's like a
right
trash
now.
movie.
I'm turning my headphones down because I know nothing about the movie. I haven't seen it. I want
I
to
haven't
watch
seen
no
it either.
spoilers,
Don't
no
worry.
spoilers.
I
No,
can't
no
tell you
spoilers.
the last time I've seen a new movie.
Anything else, Austin?
No, yeah, just gonna say we've talked recently about doing more YouTube stuff. So now that yeah, definitely stay tuned because we've got some content that we have to cover. So
Yeah.
Sketch. Where can people find you? What do you got going on this week?
Yeah, so I'll probably return to my domain of lurking in chat and yelling through there. But in the meantime, I will probably be trying to take a little bit of a step back from interacting with the streams and a lot of YouTube stuff so I can focus on getting my audio drama short edited and produced completely. Other than that, speaking of creature sound design, I am going to do a little bit of a small exercise with that, hopefully this week or the next week, trying to redesign a few video game creatures from a series called Monster Hunter, just to practice doing some creature design. So
Monster Hunter is one of my husband's favorite gaming IPs. He loves them.
I should have said.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
He just got a boner and he doesn't even know why. Like, like that is just
my favorite series. I love the creatures in there. It's a great way to for me to practice and keep myself up to date on my sound designing. So that'll be a mini project while I get this the full story done. Hopefully I'll have those out. I'm trying to get this thing out before Alien Romulus hits, so we'll see if that actually happens.
Can't wait for that.
My wife, when she saw the Alien Romulus preview in the movies today, and I
so much
realized
better
she
on
had
the
seen
screen,
the Alien movies.
I opted.
That was scary, and I was like,
the red
Sam,
trailer on a
any of
proper
this
movie
stuff, have
theater
you?
screen is peak. It's so good.
Yeah, we
It's
saw that.
the same director who did the remake for Evil Dead, which
Correct.
I really like.
Yeah,
Very much
and he
so.
did Don't Breathe, which it's really underrated. More people need to watch Don't Breathe. That's a really good movie.
But yeah, so like this story I'm working on is very Alien-esque. It's got a lot of Scavenger's Reigns elements to it. So my goal is to try to ride some of the hype from that movie to try to get some promotion and some marketing off this. So we'll see if I can pull that off. But that's what I'm going to be working on probably for the next 2 weeks.
Well, once you get it off the ground, if happy to like push it out there, promo it, have you on to talk about it. Yeah, so like once you've got it going, just let me know. I'm happy to like have you on, interview you, put it out there, Sketch. Just
for sure, I'll keep that in mind. I've made it. I told myself I need to do better at promoting and marketing my stuff, so this is definitely going to be an exercise in that. I'll let you know when it's ready.
Awesome. Kayla, where are you going to be?
So I am very much like Kaida. I am a wandering soul, pretty much. I just go where I'm invited, go with the flow. I do consistently stream on Akba on Mondays, which is Appreciating Comic Book Art with Joe Sontag and Sean Arendt. And we talk about comic book art. Usually, if it's a story I've read, I'm mostly talking about story because they don't read. But yeah, we go over cool comic book art. So, and then I'm just wherever I get invited and I have the time, I'll be there. So, yeah.
Joe Sontag is such a great guy.
He is.
Yeah, I had great streaming with you guys yesterday about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's one of my like favorite movies of all time.
I love Ninja Turtles too. I'm a dork.
Before I go, I'm gonna give it back to Nick. You guys are shooting an indie film in Austin.
Yeah.
Sorry, not in Austin.
That'd be cool. But yeah, no.
Go ahead and plug that.
Colonoscopy, buddy.
Not pretty. No, this is Austin's second indie film that he wrote and that we'll be making and shooting next month. Do you want to give your title and inspiration away?
Well, the title is definitely still kind of up there, but it is a noir thriller. Nick can attest, but I'm obsessed with black and white. I think it's just I don't know, it's just beautiful if it's done correctly. But the idea is kind of a slasher, but more of a detective kind of following it. And I didn't know how to shoot it until I actually saw Longlegs, and I think that's why I'm obsessed with it. So definitely excited to kind of figure out more about that as well as I kind of mold that a little bit. So
very cool.
Yes,
cannot wait to see what you come up with.
That's gonna be
Yeah,
cool.
and you guys are welcome to plug it too. Like, just let me know, especially if it's more a horror thriller kind of thing. I'm happy to plug it on the horror channel as well. So
Yeah,
you guys are ready to talk about it.
We've got some pretty interesting ideas that we're trying to not really copy off of anything, but obviously like pulling from some inspiration. And I think in terms of this is one of the reasons why he wants me to go see Longlegs, is to get the idea of shooting things, because obviously I'll be taking part in one of the characters, and I almost want to play a dual role, not like an RDJ type thing, but
too soon.
too soon later, Shield. But yeah, no, obviously when we got updates and everything like that, we'll definitely be letting everyone know, and we'll definitely be posting that on YouTube as soon as it's ready. But if we need, I don't know, see if we need any sort of audio design stuff, I don't know, maybe Sketch will hit you up or something.
Yes,
I'd be happy to help out however I can.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome.
I love it, you guys.
Well, let's talk shop
For sure.
As for myself, I'm on Leon's birthday stream tomorrow as well. And then Tuesday, I'll have an episode of Horror Tuesday. I'm back. I was out for almost 3 weeks with COVID. It has left me with an ear infection that I'm now fighting. But I will be back to 100% in the next 72 hours, hopefully, with these antibiotics. But Wednesday, you can find me on Zax. Thursday on Gooch with Demon Slayer. And I'm trying to plan an Aliens watch party this Saturday. See if I can fit it in somewhere. So I can see it because I've never seen it, so I can see it before.
What? You haven't seen
Romulus?
Aliens?
No, I just saw Alien for the first time too.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You're into makeup and stuff, and you never seen Aliens?
How many times I gotta say it? I have a fear of aliens. I have
God.
a legit fear of aliens.
Wait,
so,
aliens in general or the xenomorphs?
The xenomorphs. After watching Alien, I'm not as fearful. I'm actually more afraid of the face huggers than the
hell yeah.
The
face huggers are like spiders. I hate them.
Yep,
yeah,
me too. It's the legs and they wrap around your face.
If I had to say like, oh, what kind of alien am I terrified of? It's like the little gray men. Like those
like attack, like Mars Attacks type. No, those are green, right?
Like the gray, those are green, the grays. Like
all like in Signs.
Kind of. Yeah, that. Oh. By the way, before the internet was really big, my friends took me to Signs without telling me what the movie was about. Oh. And when they first showed the alien, everybody was like, and then laughing. I was crying. I had to. I was terrified.
Oh, okay. No, that's how I am with arachnophobia. Everyone's like, it's a comedy.
Oh, can't do spiders.
You are a psycho.
Nope. Can't do spiders either. No.
That's me with snakes, honestly. I don't do snakes.
I will say seeing Alien for the first time 2 or 3 weeks ago. Having a film background in set building and special effects and stuff, I was just like blown away by how detailed the set was and how beautiful it was. Like I use that word a lot, but it was very refreshing to see love and care put into a production. And just everything, the lighting, and the sound mix, like being able to hear people without having to have subtitles on was just perfect. So I really, I think it's probably in my top 5. I'll see Aliens. I don't know, but all right. I will let everybody go. So have a good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to hit that like button on the way out and be back for next week for our meme fest. So until then, peace out, y'all.
Yeah.